Welcome to Wargore TV, an episode 69.
Woo.
Oh. I'm your host Adam, and tonight we bring you a game of Age of Sigmar, 2,000 points from the General's Handbook 2023 through to 2024. Now, of course, I can't go any further. No, I really cannot, I hear you cry. No,
you can't.
Thank you. Without saying a huge thank you to all our patrons, our sponsors, our affiliates that you'll have seen on our way in. In fact, there is a new awesome name to add to the patron list. So a huge thank you to Mrs. Thomas Biddle. Thank you very much for joining us and on our lovely progress through the many realms that we have ahead of us. So. Tonight, though, on with the show. Now, it's always been in my head that ever since we started saying we have the episodes, that a certain number would inspire a certain army. Now, a few of you may have even cottoned on and asked for it in the comments. So here we are.
Quite a number,
actually. Quite a number, actually.
You seem to want this to happen.
So, of course, it's episode 69, so of course, Craig is bringing Nurgle. Yes, that's just what you asked. Oh,
no.
Oh, is that what they asked for you?
No.
They didn't ask for you?
No, turn around.
Yes. Indeed. The man himself, Adam, he has donned everything. Well, you can't see it, but he's gone full Rocky Horror Picture Show under here, for the Hedonites of Slaanesh.
That's it.
It's here. We promised it. You asked for it. We've got it. That's it. So that's what we're going to be playing with. So it's going to be Nurgle versus the Hedonites of Slaanesh.
What do they do?
Don't worry about that. That's about the conclusion. We'll get to that in the conclusion. What it is, the people wanted to see it, and so here we are. It may not necessarily be the greatest tournament list, but it is a list, and we are going to learn.
It's legal.
We're going to take them on a journey, aren't we? And we're going to find out, because you've always been tempted.
I've always been tempted.
I mean, anyone that's watched Adam on the channel
has been strong.
You just know that ham acting in you. You just can't let it go, can you? No. And I do apologise, viewers. As the show goes on, he's only going to get worse and more into character. So those of a certain disposition, look away now. But before we go any further, to find out what armies you've got, before we can even get to that, we need to find out what scenario you're going to be playing on this new journey of perversion.
Who could tell us?
Well,
who could that be?
You should ask that. We know of a certain person. Now, some say that people record his murmurings and use it to get them in the mood for making love. All we know is he's called the Cleric.
Fountains of frost. Sometimes the prize proves just as dangerous as the enemy. Seas, Andors, geysers of pure magic, or freeze your warriors solid trying. Andorian Locust units count as 10 models for the purposes of contesting objectives. At the start of each battle shock phase, roll a dice for each objective that is contested by 3 or more units. On a 4-up, each unit contesting that objective suffers D3 mortal wounds. You score in this mission as such. Score 1 victory point for 1 objective. Score another for 2. And a third for more objectives. Score 2 victory points for completing your battle tactic.
Welcome to the Maggotkin of Nurgle, and leading this infestation is the Great Unclean One, the General. He has the command trait of Nurgling Infestation and the artifact, the Witherstave. In front of him, tiny in comparison, is the Rotbringer Sorcerer, carrying the spell Hoarfrost. Now, leading a unit of 10 Putrid Blight Kings, we have the Lord of Plagues. There they are, looking all drippy and gooey. Behind them, we've got 2 Pusgoyle Blightlords, and then 2 units of 3 Plague Drones, with Plaguebringer, Iconbearer, and Bell Toller. And in front of them, we've got 2 Beasts of Nurgle rounding out the force. It sits at 1990, it's in the Droning Guard, and the Grand Strategy Corrupt Arcane Nexus. An army of Hedonites of Slaanesh in all their glory. Leading the host is the man himself, Glutus or Scullion. He's the general, with a spell Born of Damnation. He's brought along with him a Keeper of Secrets, who has the Sinister Hand and the spell Flaming Weapon. Now, they've tempted in as an ally, Mr. Morbidex Twiceborn. Very unSlaanesh-like, of course. There, of course, we have the Fane as the terrain piece, and rounding out some of the army, we've got 1 and 2 units of Fiends of Slaanesh. Now, for the battle line, there is 1, 2, 3 units of Hellstriders with Claw Spears, all with the full command, Bannerbearer, Hellreaver, and the Hornblower.
Right, dear viewers. So, Nurgle turn 1. We noted in our opponent's army, Slaanesh army to be specific, there is a Maggotkin, and we would like that Maggotkin back. So, I went barreling headlong across to see what we could do about that. So, at the start of the hero phase, we rolled for Primal Dice. No. Command Point. No. I had an ability off our Wheel of Contagion to give me an extra contagion point on a 4-up. That was also a no. We did, however, manage to pull off a big spell, the Rotbringer Sorcerer, who cast it on these Preacher Blackins, who were a little bit further back to begin with, cast Hoarfrost on an 11 and got a nice little free. So we made their weapons -3 rend. Other than that, the Great Unclean One decided, I know 2 spells, let's make me know a 3rd, I'll hack out a bit for a mortal wound. That's fine. Then proceeds to miscast and take another 3 mortal wounds, which I failed to save on top of that. Good job. It's fine, it's fine. So, our battle tactic went for Intimidate the Invaders.
I think it was cast 1, but it was unbound. Failed another, and then...
Yeah. It wasn't going good.
Yeah.
I tried to cast Arcane Bolt, Mystic Shield. He wasn't having any of it. So, went for Intimidate the Invaders. Goal of get out the deployment. So, long story short, I rolled dice on everything for running. Except the Rotbringer Sorcerer. He's staying at home. He's keeping the contagion flowing. So, we've moved all the way up. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit slow. I don't do many charges at such long distances, and even the Beasts of Nurgle were too far out. So at that point, I had to not make any charges and almost end the turn. This being Fountains of Frost, if there's 3 or more units contesting any objectives, the fountains start to go off. However, I've tactically moved enough units off that I do not trigger this for myself. However, we'll see what happens in the next turn for the Slaanesh.
Hello. Welcome to Slaanesh turn 1. Why don't you come inside? Take your coat off.
Oh dear.
Maybe I could run you a bath.
We did
This is going to happen every turn, isn't it?
So actually quite an unslaneshy turn 1, so I'll drop the act for now. Not a lot to do. It's been a bit of a cagey game, really. But we went for surround and destroy because the deployment areas are quite small, so I thought that was a fairly easy one. Didn't even need the kind of full range of movement that Slaanesh have. So we thought we'd do that and really just kind of set up a bit of a wall at the moment. So we did some magic. We got some flaming weapons off on the Keeper of Secrets, an arcane bolt with Glutus over here.
Not that we're able to get primal dice either way. We don't want to do primal today.
Dice. We don't do primal dice. That's not a thing. I think Mystic Shield failed, and none of the spells were really cast to going to do anything this turn. So there were some spells cast, but that was that. And then really it was just kind of a fighting for position. It was bring the battle line here as a bit of a defensive wall, move the fiends off to the sides to get the surround and destroy, and keep Morbidex back here to do the battle tactic as well. And really I'm just guarding against Craig winning priority. If he does and he takes it, then he'll hit the wall of battle line, and if
I've got to get to it first.
If I get it, I've actually probably put myself a bit too deep, but we'll see. And with that, let us
I'm in
roll.
black.
black versus pink.
Oh, there you go.
I am going to take that. Well then, Maggotkin of Nurgle, turn 2. So, after taking priority, Adam appears to be in a bit of a little cagey situation here, so I thought I'd reinforce that. So, like he did first turn, I went surround and destroy. Picked my 2 units of Plague Flies and my Rotbringer Sorcerer, who's sitting at the back now. We failed to get 2 primal dice, just the 1 this turn. I'm unable to roll for it personally at all. I also took a heroic action for command point, but because of the Wheel of Corruption, Slaanesh was unable to take a heroic action this turn. They're too busy, bit misery, something like that. So, I cut another wound out of the Great Unclean One to do an extra spell after healing 2 as well, so we're down to 3 wounds taken now. I cast Arcane Bolt and Flaming Weapons, successfully getting both of them off. I tried for Mystic Shield, however, I did not achieve that. The dispelling power of Glutos is very strong. I also managed to put Hoarfrost back on the Blight Kings. I didn't get a 3 this time, did get a 2, but -2 rend is still nothing to laugh about. So, getting into movement phase, we moved up the Blight Kings, the Beasts and the Flies, just a nice little wall here. We moved our Flies into position. The Great Unclean One ran round to take this far objective that has seemingly been avoided, like the plague almost, like my plague. And then these Flies moved up, ready to charge the Fiends. We did a little bit of shooting, a couple of disease points, a couple of wounds, and then we went for the charge over in this corner down here, and successfully took out 2 of the Fiends in total, and leaving 1 on 2 wounds. The Fiends, however, being demons and bravery 10, just didn't want to go anywhere.
The Fiends, however, being 3s to hit and 3s to wound, rolled nothing but 2s and 1s.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing nowadays. We also did as well, we had 10 points of our contagion points, so we summoned another little beast of Nurgle to kind of sit at the back here and just be ready for whatever runs our way. However, after our little combat, we took our battle tactic. We took 1, 2 and more now, which leads us on 9 points.
Welcome to Slaanesh Turn 2. I've been expecting you for some time. We decided that this turn we would thrust into the Nurgle army. Try and do some damage to that wall of filth that was in front of us. So, come on, let me show you. We decided to go for Intimidate Invaders because we were naturally going to be coming out of the deployment zone anyway. And we did some spells. Managed to get Mystic Shield and Flaming Weapons off on the Keeper of Secrets. And Glutus got himself an Arcane Bolt, which he has since used. That was kind of it for the magic phase. I got a primal dice that I didn't use, and I'm still not allowed to do heroic actions, so that was about it for hero phase. So the movement happened, we lined up all the charges with the heroes here, we ran some of these units over into Craig's deployment zone just to try and get onto some of the objectives. So these guys snuck onto this objective, thought they'd done a marvellous job, feeling very proud of themselves, until these Blight Kings rolled a 6 to redeploy and went, no, mine, and ended up pretty much back where they started. So to mitigate against that, we were now sharing this objective with a beast. So my other unit ran all the way around from here and managed to get a little toe onto this objective to give us a chance of holding it. These fiends moved up round here to challenge these flies. They actually wanted a long charge into the beast, but as you can see that didn't happen. And there we were lined up nice and perfectly to make those charges. And meanwhile over here a fiend had retreated from these flies to stand on this objective with these guys coming around the corner, try and take it off the Great Unclean One. You'll see there is no fiend there, so more on that shortly. Over here was where the main fight was. The Keeper went into these Blight Lords over here, and then I tried to get the double charge with these two into the beasts and into this corner of it, but only Glutus made it in. Morbidex isn't quite ready to beat up his friends just yet. What I realised about Keepers of Secrets, not really used them before, and I thought, yeah, they must be half decent in combat. No. When you don't roll half well with them, not so great. So they kind of stroked the flies, didn't really do much. Glutus said, no, this is how you do it. Slap, killed a fly, swatted a fly. But what I realised was that keepers only heal if they kill things, so that's not great. Meanwhile, the fiends over here had a bit of a slapping match with these flies. I killed a fly, the flies killed one of me. Seems sort of a fair exchange. But yeah, I'm sort of getting that feeling against Nurgle that I often get, that I'm just swinging and swinging and swinging and not really getting anywhere. At the end of the turn, it's Fountains of Frost. We had a fountain over here that ejaculated and killed a poor little fiend that was on 1 wound remaining. That's why he's not there. It also killed one of this unit, so the Great Unclean One retains that objective. Over here, the beast piled in onto this objective, which takes it off Glutus because he's not a monster. So he's only, despite being 18 wounds, he's only 2 models on there, isn't he? So we've only got these 2 objectives, but we did get Intimidate Invaders, so 8 plays 9 at the end of turn 2. And we roll.
Oh!
Oh well. Looks like turn 3 for the Slaanesh. Well, viewers, Craig has been a very naughty boy. Very naughty boy.
You'll learn about it in a moment, but it's not my fault that I rolled certain numbers on a certain amount of dice. It's just the way it happened.
It's also not his fault, apparently, that I rolled certain numbers on certain dice, but then So, turn 3, we decided to go for Into the Maelstrom. I decided to continue thrusting and move up the table, try and charge with a battle line and a hero. And just to rub salt into the ointment, I decided that the hero would be Morbidex, just to give the Nurgle a bit of that. Hero phase came and went as it has done pretty much all game. I cast Flaming Weapons. Don't think we got Mystic Shield off this time.
Nope, blocked again.
Arcane Bolt. Still didn't get my Depravity spell off, so I'm really being pretty pathetic on the Depravity. I've only got 5. So yeah, the Keeper of Secrets did make it finest hour this turn, and we really needed to try and deal with some of the stuff that we were locked in combat with here. So the Hellstriders then decided to come and try and threaten this little sorcerer here, and I thought if the battle line are going to charge anything, they're going to charge a little sorcerer instead of a great big beastie. And then Morbidex was going to do his thing into the fly that was here, and as you can see, that all kind of happened. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself. Gluttus here, I realised, has a shooting attack. Yes, he does.
It's a really good shooting attack,
It's a really good shooting attack. It's one shot, it hits on 2s, wounds on 2s. It doesn't do any rend, but it does 6 damage.
So I failed my armour save, as you do. And then, as if by magic, I only roll 5 and 6s for the ward.
He's a naughty, naughty boy. Okay.
And I think that was quite pivotal to that combat, because you've left 1 beast and 1 wound, so...
Yeah, so didn't manage to finish off a beast. And Gluttus is starting to look a bit peaky now. He's on 10 wounds taken. And he has got a lot of wounds, but we're more than halfway there with them now. So, yeah, but as you can see, we killed the fly, so that's got one little problem out of my head.
You struggled to do that as well.
Well, yeah, but this one fiend here decided to... Well, there were 2 fiends. One of them went to disease, but they finished off those flies, did pretty well over there. These Hellstriders came just to take this objective back. It must have been foreshadowing or whatever, because... didn't kill a beast, did I? I'm going to knock those over there. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a screaming into the pillow kind of turn, but...
I don't know what you're talking about.
But there we go. It's Nurgle turn 3.
Right then, Nurgle, it's taken its toll on both me and the battlefield, but we fight on anyway. So, the start of the turn, we picked our battle tactic. We went glory to the grandfather. Simply put, kill more units than I lose. Should be easy, right? We rolled for primal dice. Again, not getting any. Adam had 1 left from the turn previous, but I'd already spent mine. Heroic action. I went for my finest hour on my sorcerer just in case he didn't make it, because Alan had put a cheeky spell on my Blight Kings to halve their movement and charge rolls. I wanted them in combat. So we got off some spells. We put Hoarfrost back on the Blight Kings. We cast it and we got a 3 again, so -3 rend. He tried Stream of Corruption but failed. The Great Unclean One up the top here, he went for an Arcane Bolt and a Mystic Shield, getting both of them. Not really used them yet, but we'll see how the priority goes on that. We've got another 5 points for our Contagion. So, movement. We move all of 2 inches down. The Beast of Nurgle comes down here. Great Unclean One runs all the way up. Auto runs using the command point. And the Beast of Nurgle retreat from Glutos. We've had enough of his shenanigans. And our little blue squad of flies there, they fly over onto the objective. We'll see what we can do next turn with them. Nothing to report shooting wise. I have one unit that can shoot. And they ran. So, charges. All came down to the crucial charge of, can the Blight Kings get in? If not, I'm going to have to charge with the with other units. They needed a 3-inch charge. However, because of the spell, they needed a 6. Didn't get it. Rerolled it. Got an 8. Happy with that. So we got our 4 inches of movement in. Just enough to hit the unit. And I was like, right, we'll stop there. Other than this Beast of Nurgle, he came in. Impact hits on both sides. And then the Blightkins just did what they did best. -3 rend, feast hit, feast to wound. Delete the unit. It should be noted that Mr. Adam tempted me.
I did. I used temptation dice for the first time. Slaanesh players on YouTube screaming at me, how have you got to turn 3 and not used any yet? But there we go.
And did I take it? No. I took my 1 mortal wound for that, and I'll be fine with that. I do not care. It's fine. So, at the end of that, not really a lot of combat, but we're going into priority roll in a moment, so it's going to be a bit crucial. We did also stomp on that piece of terrain there. It's now just a debris.
Just a pretty piece of terrain.
It is. We got, though, 1, 2 more, and battle tactic for 5, which puts us on 14, plays 12. And now, dear viewers...
Come on, Dark Prince.
It's a 6. And I'm going to take that double back.
Yeah.
Right, viewers, so that was somewhat of a devastating round for Adam, but we'll take you through what happened. So, Primal, I got one dice from Adam, and I didn't roll another Primal dice. I can't seem to roll them this game. We went for a command point on the Great Unclean One, and failed. Again. Not like command points. We went for a few spellages as well, so we went for a Flaming Weapons and an Arcane Bolt on the Great Unclean One, and we went for a Stream of Corruption on our little Rotbringer Sorcerer. So it's number of dice equal to the models in the enemy unit, and 5 up to mortal wounds. Did nothing. The last spell I had was Mystic Shield, which was stopped by the Keeper of Secrets. So... we picked as our battle tactic, Maelstrom. 1 hero, 1 battle line, charge into combat, and as long as them still in combat, we're good. More about that shortly. So, movement-wise, we moved around with the flies all the way up here. We moved up with the Great Unclean One and the Beast of Nurgle around the back. And the Blight Kings still under the half movement. Slowly round up, and then the Beast of Nurgle retreated, doing a disease point on the way out. Little Rotbringer Sorcerer came out here. For shooting, we finally discovered that our Great Unclean One can shoot. Doesn't matter if you save all the wounds. Nice -3 damage, -3 rend though, but there we go. Charges. So, the Great Unclean One went barreling into Glutos. And I don't really need to say what happened there, you can see it. Glutos just took an absolute hammering. Flaming Weapon on a damage 4 sword. Even with -1 to hit and +1 to hit from all that attack, if I'm hitting on all of them, it hurts. So, the Beast of Nurgle and the flies managed to get in all the way up here onto a unit of Hellstriders. And the Blight Kings again made a 9-inch charge. Now 4.5 halved into the Hellstriders down here. This Beast of Nurgle didn't make it into the Fiend that's kind of sat there all game going, I'm safe, hopefully. And then combat was joined, and the Nurgle took the fight to the enemy and smashed. Normally that's a good thing. However, as previously stated, I picked Maelstrom as my battle tactic. The Unclean One is not in combat. The Blight King is not in combat. And the Plague Flies, not in combat. So, unfortunately, I failed the battle tactic. Oh well. So, that takes us to 3 points, puts us on 17 at the end of turn 4. We will await Adam's response.
Welcome to Oh, sorry. I'll just get that. Found it. Welcome to Slaanesh turn 4. And, well, we didn't have that much to do because we only got 3 models left. So it didn't take me very long, but we had a hero phase. We chose to do the Slaanesh battle tactic, which was to use euphoric killers on an enemy unit contesting an objective, and that enemy unit had to die. So we chose the Rotbringer Sorcerer, who, as you can see, is very much not dead. He's also no longer on an objective. More on that later. Tried to cast some spells, don't think we got anything off, so that was a shame. And then, yeah, it was just a case of bring the 2 big guys up here and try and make some charges. We also brought the Fiend onto these steps because he likes steps, apparently. So, yeah, and I mean, you can see the problem here. I'm sure you can work out the ending of the story for yourself. The Keeper came pelting over here like the fine athlete that she is, and Craig rolled a 4 for the redeploy, putting the Sorcerer 8 inches away. So what did I roll for my charge, people? Any guesses? No? Okay, I rolled a 7, and with the re-roll we couldn't get the 8 that we needed.
No, you decided a 6 was far better at that point as well.
Yeah. Morbidex, though, he went barreling into Mr. Axe over here, and then decided to not kill him. So through
He's taken 3 wounds.
Yeah, he actually didn't roll too badly this time, did Morbidex, but yeah, Nurgle likes saving things, especially today. So yeah, so an absolute failure of a turn in which I took 2 objectives and didn't get a battle tactic. So 2 points, leaves me at 14-17, and I really just need priority to restore some pride, I think. So here we go. I don't know how he does it, but Craig seems to have a very good record of winning priority on this channel.
Right, dear viewers, just a little bit of mopping up left to do. Slaanesh has fought well, but Nurgle's bringing back its prize. So, we went for magical dominance. We didn't get any primal dice each. Went for command point, failed that as well. I don't like rolling for stuff for some reason. We went for an Arcane Bolt, achieved, even with only a roll of a 6.
Yeah, you could hardly say it was dominant.
It wasn't dominant, but it was dominant kind of thing.
You cast it on a 6 and I didn't unbind it on a 4.
It's fine. And then we went some really quick moving and shooting, so the Black Kings moved up, and then we auto ran the Unclean One into the middle to achieve the gun strategy. The little beast ran up, and then we made some charges. So the beast into the Fiend and the Black Kings in, just to hold them back, stop them going further forward. Didn't really do any damage, but took a couple of wounds in return. The dice roll for that was atrocious, but they're not there to do any damage now. I'm just there to hold it back. The beast did his job. Smashed out the Fiend on the charge with the impact hits. Got 3 mortal wounds on the 2 wound model left. And that's about it, folks. It's 22 points after another 5. So there's not a great deal you can do here.
I think we're going to talk through my turn 5 and we'll see you in the conclusion.
Conclusion time, folks! Well,
Yeah.
What a mashup that was.
Well.
And I didn't see a single suspender.
No.
But
But it was suspense.
it was, see what you did there. So, okay, they didn't, but what was our first, shall we say, titillation, like with the Hedonites? What did we think?
Considering I was learning it on the fly, I didn't know any of the rules, forgot half of them, and really quite enjoyed them, to be honest.
Good. What did you like about them?
I think, weirdly, because I'm talking about forgetting all these rules and I was realising that I'd forgotten them after I'd done them, I quite like the subtlety of it all and all of the different layers of rules. I think if I did get my head around it, actually...
It'll be fun experience trying to...
You could build rule upon each other to create a better
and
effect.
learn to go, oh, they may look like they're in a t-shirt, but they're quick.
And I think potentially from other Slaanesh players I've talked to, the first time you play with them, you always forget your temptation dice, which I did.
Well,
you did use one.
I did use one.
Not that I really cared, but
but you remembered.
Yeah. But
Very good.
it's when the dice are rolling back and forward, it's just remembering to say, would you like one? And and then also the euphoric killers, didn't get the most out of that. I kept using it on the wrong model in the wrong place and not getting the depravity when I needed it.
especially that one of those last battle tactics you did, it required you to use it as well. You could have probably used that to greater effect earlier in the battle.
Could have done. So there was lots of stuff I missed. There's a lot of rules on the War Scrolls that I probably need to spend more time studying. But given all of that,
still had fun with them.
Had fun.
Liked them. Saw the potential.
Definitely.
And
They were good to play against as well. They weren't. They didn't feel overly too in your face powerful, but you still got to play careful with them. And
it's because I forgot half the rules.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we'll have to do this again sometime.
A model of the match, dare I say, or one?
I think I landed, after an inauspicious start, I think I landed on the Keeper of Secrets.
After giving the Keeper all that, at the beginning.
No, to be fair, I think she heard me and...
Actually...
She pulled you through the battle, realistically.
Yeah.
I mean, none of the big guys, they all had their moments of weakness, really.
Okay.
I mean, she failed the charge for that battle tactic that I failed, but then when I look at Morbidex and he rolled all those ones to wound, he didn't really want to beat up his mates.
No, he was coming out from his
despite
spell,
having a 5 at ward, just like the Nurgle, Gluttus just didn't want to save any of it.
Gluttus was okay, he lasted a long time, but he really just sort of sat there and...
That -1 to hit bubble,
died. Yeah, that was quite good.
That kept him alive a lot longer, I think.
Actually, probably up there was the Fiends. I quite like what they did.
They're surprisingly punchy.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
-1 to hit and wound.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
For sort of like flanking units or something.
And a D3 damage and a D6 damage.
No, they're nice. They've definitely got their place and a guaranteed grand strategy for you if you just don't use the depravity. So got that as well. So in comes the 3 points.
Depravity to use because I didn't have to play the army.
But hey, don't worry about that.
But you didn't spend any, so
So you won the game. You've got Morbidex back.
Yeah,
he's come out of his delusion and gone.
Well, he's going to have to taught a lesson, but we'll deal with that back at the mansion.
Yeah, we'll talk to him later. So, model of the match for you?
It's going to have to be the unit of 2 Beasts of Nurgle.
Really?
Right, and they're the ones that hold Gluttus up.
Yeah.
They pulled off the saves out of nowhere, and they're still there. They're still roaming around the back.
Gluttus as well.
Yeah. And it's kind of not something I usually see.
Normally
multiple units of beasts, normally all in ones.
Yeah.
But that unit of 2 just have really pulled their weight, and I might look into doing that with more of them in the future. I think.
Okay.
I think honourable mention to the Blight Kings, who when they were half movement, half charge, half run, still pulled off the charge.
Still managed to get the guys going. We are going to get in. Yeah.
They have moved all of 2 inches from their start position anyway. But the Beast of Nurgle way in advance. That I can't like. They're not the biggest unit. They don't do the most damage. They only hit on 4s, but their ability to run and charge and retreat and charge, and you just can't hold them down. Like I think when you're like, right, I've got 2 here. One's left on 1 wound. I'll deal with him and he's run away.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Cheers.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the scenario, you still like the Fountains of Frost?
Yeah,
good one.
It's one you have to play close attention to for state, like a monster counts as 5, so if you've got counts as one models on it, and you put too many units on, like you did in that corner one,
there was a key
could
moment,
hurt.
wasn't there,
There
when
was,
there was a
yeah.
fiend, but then there wasn't a fiend.
Yeah.
And then it all went wrong. Yeah, forgetting the whole 3-unit thing. Yeah, it's been a good.
You still got to think about it, which I prefer.
7 months in now.
Yeah.
7 months in, aren't we? Yeah, of this one. Yeah, it's been a good servant. Yeah, I like it.
And it's one I don't feel I see much out as well. I think
tournaments we've not hit it too much, have we? No, it's not been out there a lot, but I like
It's a
it.
fairly inoffensive one with some special rules.
I think most people are quite happy to play it.
Yeah.
The whole 11 inches in. It doesn't restrict you too much.
And it's not got the full half-board deployments
for things like
for the
surround,
territory,
destroy, and things like that. So and you can get quickly out your deployment zone if you want to. Obviously you want to get straight
intimidate,
out.
surround, destroy, both really easy,
Yeah.
really quickly with these,
Yeah,
and
so
you can set your deployment to match that as well.
Yeah, it works really well. So I think a big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up on the game. Look
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And you two, I'm sure you'll do the Nurgle again. And I think we've set you off, tempted you with a temptation
Tempted me
dice
with the Slaanesh.
to come have a little play with him a little bit more often.
I'll be waiting for him to produce the next selection of Slaanesh.
Almost like ejaculate more.
Yes, you could say that.
Might not expose myself quite so much.
Very
next
good.
time.
But still a little bit.
Or maybe just show a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
Just little bits of ankle.
And on that bombshell,
Yeah, if you want any more of these silly dad jokes, by all means watch all the other episodes. And
Oh,
there's plenty.
episode 69.
Yeah, you get it now. It's only taken 40 minutes, but welcome to the game. But if you do, please do go back and watch some of the others, or join in and watch us, because we're going to do some more, whether you like it or not. We're just going to do it.
just wait till we hit 169.
Exactly. Everybody will be in suspenders. Suspense. Keep meaning to say that. Keep meaning to say that. Sorry. But yeah, have a look on the website. Have a look at those other things. Have a look at the chance of being a patron. Subscribe. Ring the bell. Comment. Please comment. After all this, you've got to, surely.
You committed to bring this to us, so we expect something back now.
This is your fault. So, you asked for it. So, as we always say, until next time.
Bye!